the issue of uh, I think it was talking about the issue of the gold. So they said gold has to be the currency we use for transactions. Yes, sorry, and the evidence that they use is that Allah mentions the gold and silver in the Quran and the Sunnah, and therefore, and it mentioned and has attached zakah to gold and silver. So therefore, this is evidence that we must use gold and silver. Now, the counter argument is the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. That Yusuf, when he was sold into slavery, he was sold for ثمن بخس دراهم معدودة, for a measly value, a few dirahim. Now, Yusuf alayhi salam was born and died centuries before there was a dirham. But Allah called it dirahima because that was the language of money at the time. So this is evidence that the use of the word dinar and dirham, dhahab al-fidda, it was just analogous to money. It wasn't that it was specifically money. It was, if I said to you, give me a dirham, that means give me some money. So if you say no, you have to use the gold and silver, we have to have an evidence whereby they were prevented from transacting in gold and silver. But again, we don't have that. We have actually people doing transactions for other things, exchanging this for that, non-monetary things like dates and whatnot. You can transact other things. So you can do transactions with anything as long as you wish to, as long as you accept it as a transaction. But the idea to say that gold and silver must be used as a currency, it's almost like saying we must wear an izar or rida, as in what the Hajjaj wear in Hajj. Because that's what the Arabs wore. And because they all wore it, that means we must all wear it. No, they wore it because that was their clothing. That was the clothing of the time. So we can't now stipulate that because they wore that, we must wear the same. So that's from that angle. From that angle, we differ. And just to conclude on that one point, it's I think it's almost a manifestation of an ongoing problem we've had in this ummah. I don't mean a problem as in to criticize the ummah, but an ongoing problem we've had historically. If you look at the issue of the Ottoman Empire, it's been said, Wallahu alam, that one of the things that hindered their progress was that they banned the printing press. Because it was unusual to how they used to.
This is very controversial because you mention it to some people and they say that's not the reason and you're just making it up. That's what Orientalist scholars said. But I think there's strong evidence to suggest that rulers were swayed by scholars who, there are various reasons why they may not have liked the printing press. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
Well, the thing is, I'm not even making the case that they were hindered. I mean, that could be the case. I don't know if that was actually the case. I mean, I could say there's other things that were hindered for it. But what is known, though, was that there was an issue.
Yeah.
And the issue was, I mean, regardless of what they say the issue was, the way I see the issue is, we have modernity which conflicts with tradition. Yep. That's all it is. Yep. And gold and silver is a tradition. That's all it is. Because fundamentally, what people don't realize is that money is tradition. Money is a culture. It's about what we accept as a medium of exchange. So when they say, we can't use Bitcoin because no one uses it, well, yeah, like everything, it takes time for things to become widespread to everyone. But fundamentally, what gives things value is exactly that culture. I mean, when they say the markets, the price of something in the market, what does it even mean by the market? The market means tradition. It just so happens that the price of goods, its tradition is short-lived. As in the price of an iPhone is the price of an iPhone for now. It's short-lived. And I remember the days when the latest iPhone was £500. Remember those days? The old school days. The iPhone 4, 500 quid. And in them days, like, £500 for a phone? Are you crazy? Apple's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Now it's like £1,000 or more, 1,300 for a phone. So the price of things shifts, but ideally it's down to a tradition. And there's even a chapter in fiqh called Ghaban. Ghaban basically means, I'll give this scenario. I've traveled to Egypt. I have no idea about the price of Egypt. So I pick up a plate, a locally made plate. It looks nice. I want it to be like a bit of furniture. So I purchase it. And they say, how much is it? They say, oh, £200 as in Egyptian pounds. Great, here's £200. You go down the road and you see that exact same plate for £50. That's ghaban. You've bought it way over the traditional value of the plate. So you can go back to the first guy and say, look, I'm maghboon. You've robbed me. Meaning, now those who are free open market capitalists, they'll say, no, if it's an open market, you agree on the price, blah blah blah. Yeah. But if I had known the urf, the culture, I would not have taken that. So I was deceived in thinking that was the market value. Anyway, back to the issue is tradition. Gold and silver is a tradition. Even right now, China, Russia, UAE specifically, Saudi Arabia, they're all amassing large amounts of gold. Maybe part of their BRICS movement, whoever the reason is, but they've been doing it for decades. But why are they amassing gold and not really amassing Bitcoin? Tradition. It's a known thing in central banks that this thing holds value, and if I hold it, I can do X with it. It's tradition.
Yeah.
So